Hey dolls, what's up? It's your favorite bag on a budget, Diamond K. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Okay, there are drinks in my fridge. Go and put your coats on my bed and get comfy. Because today, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be talking about the dark realities of reality television. So let's get right into it. A little commentary video. I'm trying to change it up a little bit. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm obsessed with reality TV. It's absolutely my favorite genre. I literally don't watch anything else. Other TV just feels too fake to me now, even though there are a lot of allegations of reality TV being just as fake. If you don't know what reality TV is, which I'm sure you do if you're here, these shows claim to offer an unscripted view of real life situations. There's an ongoing debate about if they're even real or not, so there's that. But I like to not think about that because it ruins the show for me. So there's definitely an alleged dark reality behind the scenes where the producers of these shows are manipulating storylines, scripting stuff, mistreating contestants, starving contestants.
Former Love is Blind participant Jessica Battens claimed that it's psychological warfare and that planning a wedding is hard enough, but on top of that, her dog was dying during, and she asked to leave but wasn't allowed. And other former participants have claimed that if you leave, you get charged a $50,000 penalty.
It was emotionally taxing, is what she said. That this is alleged, so I'm not saying any of this is absolutely true. I've heard other post participants talk about how whenever the producers manipulate the storyline, it really takes a horrible toll on their mental health. Imagine your entire reputation being in somebody else's hands and they're exploiting it just for views. So they're trying to wait for your most horrible moments to show only those. They don't want to show you being sweet, giving a gift, like talking to your friend, cheering them up, nothing. They just want to see you fighting, crying, yelling.
Unnamed producer from a reality TV show stated, "Part of my job when I meet them is to basically become their best friend." Explained how manipulation starts from day one, build trust, and then corrupt. The producer even joked that the collective noun for a group of them is a manipulation.
Some of them said they felt like they were out of control of their reputation, basically because the narrative had been pushed and people don't really believe you after all of this has been seen. People aren't very forgiving to people on the shows. So now we're going to talk about some more examples of the alleged exploitation in reality TV. And another contestant from Love Island, she said that as a former contestant on Love Island, there were instances where producers encouraged risky behavior and manipulated their emotions. It felt like we were constantly being pushed to create controversial moments, even at the expense of our well-being.
An alleged example of this manipulation is from Love Island Season 7 during Casa Amor Week. The producers delivered a manipulated postcard to the main villa for the girls to obsess over. The postcard depicted the 6 boys kissing and cuddling up to the Casa Amor babes with the main purpose of stirring up drama between the stronger couples in the villa.
And another participant from The Bachelor, she said that during filming we were often isolated from the outside world and made to feel dependent on the show's producers. They controlled our access to information, creating a sense of vulnerability that could be exploited for dramatic effect. The reality shows like Love Island allegedly often limit access to clocks and timekeeping devices in the filming environment. This is supposedly done to heighten the sense of immersion and disconnection from the outside world, which adds an element of surprise and uncertainty to their daily experience. But now we're going to talk about some of the contestants' nutrition and alcohol consumption. So former participants have shed light on the inadequate food portions.
Well, contestants on Love is Blind have talked about how they hardly had any food and were going crazy in their pods. The island shows, it seems, they are not allowed to eat except for at certain times, very small portions that they had to ration. And many of these shows also provided an excess of alcohol.
And a lot of people think that this is on purpose. They're putting the contestants into a horrible state of mind solely to create good entertainment, which I'm not surprised at all if that's the case. These people are filming $100,000, probably even $1 million shows. They're gonna be angry if you're just sitting there like all relaxed talking, kind of like the last season of Love Island. I don't know about you guys, but I found that incredibly boring. They're just sitting around trying to look great because a lot of people see reality television now as the gateway to being the next big thing, so they go on there. There's been lots of allegations of former contestants actually having full-on partners partners outside of the show. I don't know about y'all, but I would never let my partner go onto a dating show. No, I don't care about what kind of check it would bring. And it's just not fun to watch. The part that brings me the most enjoyment, at least from reality television shows, is just seeing how other people live on a day-to-day basis, being relatable, being authentic, watching them just have like their moments and stuff. I'm also just nosy, so there's that as well. The issue now is that everybody is only on there to be an influencer or to get that clout, get that fame, and so they're always just trying to sit pretty and like act perfect and not say the wrong thing ever because they don't want to lose that opportunity or to be destroyed on social media. So I wouldn't be surprised if the producers manipulate stuff. Even if they don't get good content, they're just going to manipulate what they have so that's somewhat worth watching, you know. Most think it's solely so that you will act out and embarrass yourself, cause conflict, do crazy things, make good television. It's entertainment over emotional health, basically, is what it sounds like. A former participant from Love is Blind claimed that we were given very little food and often had to ration what we had. It was challenging to maintain our energy levels and overall well-being with such restricted nutrition. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. It sounds like jail. And imagine constantly being surrounded by cameras, and anytime you have any feeling, I already have a hard time holding my emotions back. So if I was mad about something and there's a camera there, I'd probably lose my mind trying to keep my anger in my head and not bring up anything to embarrass myself. It doesn't sound worth it at all. And I used to want to be on Bad Girls Club so bad. It was my life dream. Like, I was crushed when it was done. But yeah, no, I would have been so anxious, so uncomfortable. I would have left by the end of the second week, that's for sure. Hiding in a closet the whole time, I don't want to get beat up, like, no. The former contestant was claiming that alcohol was readily available to us throughout the filming process. It was used as a tool to create dramatic and volatile situations. And this raises concerns about their mental well-being and the impact it had on their decision making. So the revelations about contestants' inadequate nutrition and frequent provision of alcohol raise important questions about the responsibility of producers and networks to ensure the well-being of participants. Former participants from Love Island has emphasized the importance of providing adequate nutrition and promoting healthy lifestyles during filming. Contestants' physical and mental well-being should always be a priority. Ensuring meals and proper access to nutritionists and dietitians is essential to support the overall well-being. That's why they don't want it. They want you to be losing your mind and me going crazy, supposedly. So I'm not surprised, but disappointed. Going further, the availability of alcohol needs to be reconsidered and regulated to prevent the potential harm to contestants. These conditions could easily cause eating disorders, alcoholism, mental breakdowns, health issues. This could easily ruin people's lives. Some have stated it has ruined their lives. Like, this is not a mentally safe environment, that's for sure. A former contestant from The Bachelor stated that producers need to be mindful of the potential negative effects of excessive drinking on contestants, their well-being, their decision-making, and their overall mental health. Moving on, we're going to talk about the trauma experienced by contestants now. So beyond the challenges faced during filming, a lot of these contestants often experience significant trauma as a result of their participation, mainly in the way as how they're treated by the viewers and perceived. In many instances, former reality participants have spoke out of the poor treatment they experienced after their time on the show. Former reality participant from The Real Housewives shared her post-filming experience, and she claimed, "After the show aired, I received a barrage of negative comments and online harassment from viewers. It was disheartening to see how quickly the public had turned against me based on the edited portrayal on reality TV. The lack of support from the production team and network made it even more difficult to cope with the aftermath. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't message you again. They're just like, thanks for the money, thanks for the content, bye. Get out of here, get off our property," because they don't care about you. You were just a dollar sign to them, allegedly. And imagine not being able to see the time, not being able to see any social events or anything, like, for months. Then you get back on your phone and immediately you're just gonna see all the horrible things going on with the world. Probably gonna have a mental breakdown. I would, at least. I have to get off Twitter because it is every single post is something horrible happening. And then on top of that, just endless hateful comments. You get off hoping to be a celebrity and people are tearing into you, the way you talk, the way you look, the way you eat, the way you breathe, the way you chew. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be such a that would really change me, because even getting like 1 to 2 mean comments on TikTok makes me not want to post content for months. It makes me anxious to even get on the app because I don't want to see a mean comment. So I can't imagine getting thousands and you were doing your best to look likable and stuff, and none of it paid off, and you immediately are being torn into, destroyed, and just disrespected on social media. It would be such a stark contrast. A former participant from The Survivor, he spoke about the alleged impact of instant fame and the immediate abandonment demand it from the show's producers. He claimed that once the season aired, he was thrown into the spotlight, but he didn't get any guidance or support from the production team, and the sudden fame brought numerous challenges, and he felt left alone on how to navigate through it. The lack of aftercare and attention from the show's producers was deeply disappointing, especially if they pretended to be nice to you at least, which I hope they did. And a former participant who was on America's Next Top Model, which we could make a whole video about that. Let me know if you're interested in that. She claimed that while being on the show provided exposure, the industry often treated them disposable, and many of them struggled to find representation or secure modeling jobs afterwards. And it was disheartening to realize that the promises made during the show did not always translate into real opportunities afterwards, which I'm not surprised, because I've heard it's really hard to get up there in the modeling industry, and that it's just really hard to get paid well, and there's so many models, and so it's kind of hard to stand out in the crowd unless you are literally doing your absolute best, or just like really fit the objective American beauty standard, or if you're Nepo baby like Kendall Jenner. She's the highest paid model and she doesn't even give it, like she doesn't bring anything. She's just like walking on the runway. Everyone else is like, that's not a good representation of them. They look much better than that. It is kind of essential for us as viewers to recognize the impact of our words and our actions on the mental well-being of these reality TV contestants. By making a culture of empathy and understanding, we can contribute to a healthier and more compassionate environment. And a former participant from The Bachelor, she emphasized the need for viewers to approach reality TV with empathy. She stated that it's crucial for us to remember that what we see on the screen is often heavily edited and manipulated, and jumping to harsh judgments and engaging in online harassment can have devastating and potentially life-changing consequences for the mental health of these contestants. We need to foster a more empathetic and supportive community, and I agree with her 100%. And I understand it's hard because the main reason people watch reality TV is so we can laugh at these people, so we can judge these people. That's not necessary. We could be better, and I know it won't be an immediate change, but like, we should watch to feel relatable to these people rather than to look down on these people. A former contestant who was on the Jersey Shore, she expressed that reality TV participants are human beings who make mistakes and have vulnerabilities. Instead of perpetuating negativity, viewers can choose to offer constructive criticism and show compassion. It's time to break the cycle of tearing people down and focus on uplifting and supporting one another. And I do understand where it comes from, because us as a human race, most people want to tear down anyone who's doing better than them in the eyes of their mind, like making more money and stuff. Anyone who makes any mistake, makes a slip up. We just think we know people, I feel like, when we don't. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm perfect. I do feel like with Zeus TV shows, the main reason they even matter at all is just so we can look down on and laugh at these people. But I do think those contestants know what they're signing up for, and if not, the main thing is that the producers need to make it clear. Like, the point of this show is to make you look goofy. It's for people to judge you. It's not for you to live on an island and find love. Like, they don't care. And most of the people are so young, they don't even want to find love. They're not there for that. And do you really want to have like your whole entire relationship be in front of the public eye for everyone to see, for everyone to talk about, to make assumptions about, to start rumors about, to watch you get broken up with if it was to happen? Like, if I was on there with my boyfriend and anyone was like, oh, he likes that girl, like he don't like her, that would make me insecure. And I would come to him like, not now, but back when I was 19 and stuff, that's how I would react for sure. So I can't imagine anyone thinks it's truly the best way to find love. At this point, most likely everybody is just there for the clout and the potential income and empire they can build from being on there. These are still real people, even if they seem to have money, even if their bodies are perfect, like, they still have problems, and it's hard to see that when, like, we are all in the state we are in. We definitely look at celebrities and influencers like they're a different breed. Some of us just don't relate, and so we don't see ourselves in them at all, because you're living an entirely different life than most of us. So we feel like you have no reason to be sad. And the repercussions of our actions can be very long, like, lasting on their mental health. And I also really cannot imagine coming from not having any attention at all to the world revolving around you, and you don't even see the internet. I can't imagine just a whole, like, immediate, like, 180. The trauma experiences can go way beyond the confines of the show. So this stuff does take a minute to blow over. And if you portray yourself wrong, or you're not on there long, a lot of times when there's a show, you only see a few people like build their empires and become insanely wealthy off of it. And they know what they're doing. So I would say that for the people who aren't able to do this correctly, like I think Ek and Sue from Love Island is incredibly rich now. There's a lot of people in shows that took the exposure and did everything they could to get a check out of it, and it obviously happened. It worked. But some people are too busy dealing with the mental health, having to go back to work, just dealing with other issues in their life, or don't have the resources to build an empire off of this exposure. Those people, if they made one or two mistakes or were perceived wrong or anything, or if the show didn't have a great reputation, it could easily snatch future job opportunities right from under them. And a lot of times, if you wanted to put that on your resume, then they'd probably go and watch it, and then they could easily judge you from that. So it just sounds like, because clout, the fun of clout, unless you like blow up like huge, and even then the dopamine rush from clout can only go so far, and after a while you want privacy, you want respect. And one of the reasons I decided to calm down on YouTube, I thought I wanted to be famous, and then I realized when I had horrible anxiety, every time I walked into a room or a building, I felt like everyone would immediately turn at me and be like, or just look at me and judge me, and like the whole world revolved around me, but not in a good way. Like I was the only thing people were worried about. They weren't worried about themselves. It gave me horrible social anxiety and agoraphobia for a while, and I realized that I really do value my privacy, and that's not the case at all. These people aren't worried about me. But if I was a household name, if everybody knew me and I walked into a room, like you don't get any privacy at all. Imagine trying to go to the gas station as a celebrity and you gotta put on your glasses, just like entirely hide yourself. And I can imagine the anxiety I would get, like getting ready to step out and hoping everything went fine and that no bad pictures of me went to the paparazzi or anything. It just sounds like you're walking on eggshells your entire life. So I'm making content for the sake of content. And now we're going to talk about the need for improved post-filming support. The stories of the contestants highlight the urgent need for these networks to provide post-filming support and aftercare for these participants of their shows. It is essential for producers to recognize their responsibility in providing comprehensive support to contestants after filming concludes. This should include mental health resources, media training, and guidance to help the participants navigate the challenges of newfound fame. Imagine if they even had some therapists who are specifically trained in helping people deal with fame and all the stuff that can come with it. Hopefully we can be there in a few years. That would be great. They need these people to help the participants navigate the challenges of newfound abrupt fame. Rather than building your way up, it's just immediate and you don't really have control of building your narrative. Like people get to build their brands as influencers if they don't go on these shows. But on this, the producers build your brand. It's all on them, and they don't care about you, or if you make a mess up, I don't know what to say. Additionally, these places should establish a clear guidelines and protocols to address issues such as online harassment, negative comments, and public scrutiny that the contestants may face. This would help protect their well-being and provide them with the necessary tools to cope with the post-filming challenges they might go through. Producers should be transparent about the editing process and the potential impact on their lives. They should definitely be told when they're like auditioning for the final audition, are you okay with abrupt fame and potentially a lot of hate from the internet? Are you sure you want this? Are you okay with us scripting the narrative however we please? Like, it should all be expressed, at least. It should be clear what they're getting themselves into. But of course they don't care because it's profits over people. At least the bare minimum, nutritious meals. This is not prison, and even the prisoners shouldn't have to deal with that either. It's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum, bro. Like, they're creating $1 million shows for you. You can feed them. They don't need to be starving. That sounds so painful, to be starving all day and then drinking. Imagine how hungover you'd be and stuff. The availability of alcohol needs to be reconsidered and regulated to prevent potential harm to these contestants. You'd think that they would want to at least do a decent job, because eventually your show can die if the people find out about this. Like, is it really worth it? You want to ruin your reputation over this? Like I'm saying, everything in this video is alleged. I'm not saying any of this is true. But I would say, I don't think somebody would lie about the treatment from a network or a company or anything that helped them gain thousands to millions of followers. I feel like most people would want to network with them, milk them for everything they could, get as close to the producers as possible. But the fact that this many people are coming out and stating the mistreatment and harmful environments from these reality shows, I don't think it's for no reason. Personally, I believe them. So in conclusion, as viewers, we should advocate for these changes and demand the ethical treatment of contestants throughout their entire journey on these shows. From filming to life after filming, together we could foster a more empathetic and supportive reality television landscape. Us as viewers, we hold a significant amount of power in shaping the demand for responsible programming by only supporting shows that prioritize the authenticity and advocate for the overall health and the well-being of the participants. we can encourage the industry to embrace these ethical practices. Because if we all stop watching, the show can't keep going on. And I do love my drama, so I really wish we wouldn't have to do this. But if everyone decided we're done watching shows that mistreat these people, I'm right with you. We really do need to start banding together and using our power as, and I'm not just about reality, I'm talking about in life now, as a whole society. Let's take back control of all the horrible things going on. And right now, the horrible thing we're talking about is reality TV, but this applies to everything. We can demand a greater responsibility from producers and networks and advocate for transparency, participation, support, and authentic storytelling. Together we can shape the future of reality TV, ensuring a much more ethical and impactful landscape. So I want to thank you guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining me as I shed light on these crucial issues. I would absolutely love to hear what you guys have to say. Let's start a conversation, because I don't want to just talk to myself. I would love to hear what you guys think about these situations. But yeah, it's just one more thing we need to change. It's getting exhausting. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do more commentary content. But right now, I kind of want to step out and get to know you guys on more of a friendly level, rather than just here's this, this is where you get this, you know? So if you liked it, please thumbs up and subscribe, check in, let me know how you feel. And if you made it all the way to this point, please leave a comment of a heart emoji so I know who my ride or dies are. I love you all so much, so I will see you next time. Bye!